Style doesn't count birthdays, it only counts the energy you bring into the room. Let me ask you, does the dress you're wearing today help you stand taller, walk with more confidence, and show the world your most radiant self? There's actually science behind this. Psychologists call it enclothed cognition. The right outfit naturally opens up your posture, shifts the way you behave, and instantly changes how others see you. People don't just notice your dress, they notice your energy. That's why today, I want to share 5 timeless dress styles that every woman over 60 can rely on. These aren't about chasing youth or pretending to be younger. They're about highlighting elegance, celebrating maturity, and showing off the confidence you've earned. I'll also give you a simple tool you can use right away: face, fiber, flow. Face is about choosing colors that brighten your features. Fiber is about fabrics that feel comfortable and polished. Flow is about movement, making sure your dress moves with you instead of against you. Along the way, you'll learn quick styling formulas for different occasions, the most common mistakes to avoid, and a 30-second fitting room checklist to know instantly if a dress is truly right for you. So let's begin with what I like to call the compass of proportion, the A-line midi dress, a style that never goes out of fashion. The A-line midi dress really is like a compass for your figure. It gently guides the eye, balances your shoulders and hips, softens the midsection, and when the hem hits at the slimmest part of your calf, your legs instantly look longer and more graceful. Let me ask you something. Have you ever stood in front of the mirror and wished your legs could magically look a few inches longer without heels? According to a style survey out of London, nearly 7 out of 10 women over 55 said they felt instantly more confident in a midi dress with a slight flare because it balanced their proportions and made them stand taller without even realizing it. When you're choosing your A-line midi, think of the formula: face, fiber, flow. For the face, go with a soft V-neck, about 2 to 3 inches deep. It brightens your features and draws attention upward. For color, muted jewel tones like soft sapphire or dusty emerald will make your skin glow without being harsh. For fiber, look for crepe or twill for that refined, semi-matte elegance. Cotton or linen keeps it fresh and easy for daytime. And then there's flow. The dress should flare gently from the waist, never stiff or bulky, so it moves with you. I'll share a personal story. On my 60th birthday, I slipped into a simple ivory A-line cotton dress, added a cropped cardigan, and finished the look with pointed toe loafers. When I walked into brunch, the compliments poured in. "You look so light on your feet. Like you dropped 10 years overnight." My legs hadn't changed, but the proportions had, and that changed everything about the way I carried myself. For an evening event, I chose a deep sapphire A-line crepe with a slim 3/4-inch belt and a pair of 2-inch pumps. In every photo that night, I looked poised, elegant, and confident, without trying too hard. Of course, I've made mistakes too. Once, I picked a hemline that hit right at the widest part of my calf, and my legs looked shorter. Another time, I wore a chunky belt that cut me in half, making my frame look heavier than it was. And satin, don't get me started. Under bright lights, it highlighted every curve I wanted to soften, especially around the stomach, and I spent the whole evening tugging at it. That's why I always run through my 30-second checklist in the fitting room. Does the hem hit at the slimmest part of my calf? Is there a vertical detail, like a seam or a placket, that draws the eye down and elongates my shape? Do the sleeves hit at a flattering spot to slim my arms without feeling restrictive? 3 quick questions, and I know if the dress is worth bringing home. My dear friend Lan, who's 62, had her own aha moment. She wore a sapphire A-line crepe dress with a soft V-neck and a pair of slingback heels. When she walked into her high school reunion, people kept asking, "Lan, did you get taller?" She laughed and told me later, "I didn't change a thing, except the dress. It straightened my shoulders, quickened my stride, and suddenly everyone saw me differently." Can you see yourself in Lan's story? Maybe it's time you tried on an A-line midi and experienced that same little transformation. And once you've mastered this timeless silhouette, let's move on to another powerful option for women over 60, the shirt dress, where vertical lines become your best friend. The shirt dress is one of the smartest choices a woman over 60 can make. With its clean vertical button line and structured collar, it instantly creates the illusion of length, making your figure look taller and leaner. Add a simple belt at the waist, and suddenly you have just the right amount of shape. It's the perfect balance of looking put together, while still feeling comfortable all day long. Have you ever tried leaving the top one or two buttons undone, just enough to reveal your collarbone? It's such a simple move, but it brightens your face and adds a touch of confidence without being over the top. And if you want a little extra polish, tie on a small silk scarf in a warm tone near your face. It makes all the difference. Fabric matters too. Poplin or cotton is your best friend for daytime errands or lunch dates. It's crisp, breathable, and easy. If you're dressing for evening, a silk wash or matte satin shirt dress will instantly elevate your look, giving you that soft glow of sophistication. And if you want a youthful, casual twist, try a lightweight denim shirt dress. A recent survey of American women in their 60s found that more than 70% feel more confident in a shirt dress than in almost any other silhouette, because it's practical, flattering, and timeless all at once. I remember wearing a beige cotton shirt dress on a grocery run with my granddaughter. I paired it with pointed white sneakers and a canvas tote. Strangers smiled at me in the aisles, and honestly, I could tell they thought I looked younger, at least by 7 or 8 years. Another time, at a brunch with friends, I wore a smoky blue poplin shirt dress, cinched with a slim leather belt, and finished with block heel loafers. A friend leaned over and said, "You look so energetic, so polished, and it doesn't even look like you tried." Of course, I've made my share of mistakes. One time I chose a shirt dress that was too short, and it completely lost that sophisticated edge. Another time the fabric wrinkled badly, and after an hour in the car, I looked rumpled instead of chic. And the worst mistake? Wearing a thick, oversized belt. It instantly made my waistline look heavier than it really was. That's why I stick to my 30-second checklist in the fitting room. First, does the button line create a clean vertical flow from collar to hem? Second, try rolling the sleeves twice. Does it make your arms look slimmer and the outfit more youthful? And third, is the belt slim and in the same color family as the dress? If the answer to all three is yes, you've found your dress. My dear friend Maria, who's 67, proved this perfectly. She wore a smoky blue poplin shirt dress, tied the belt slightly off-center, added a small silk scarf near her collar, and finished the look with crisp white sneakers. At her club meeting that day, the compliments poured in. "You look so active, so approachable, and completely effortless." And she told me later, the best part was that I didn't feel like I was trying. The dress did the work for me. Can you believe how much a shirt dress can transform not just how you look, but how people see you? If you've mastered the A-line, the shirt dress is the natural next step, easy, versatile, and elegant in every setting. And from there, we'll move into one of the most flattering dresses of all time. The wrap dress, a style that's soft, feminine, and quietly powerful. The wrap dress has always been a secret weapon for women over 60. With its soft V neckline and a simple tie at the waist, it instantly creates the illusion of curves, balance, and elegance. What makes it so special is that it works on almost every body type. I often say a wrap dress doesn't just wrap fabric around your body, it wraps you in confidence. Have you ever slipped on a wrap dress and noticed how your face lights up the second you look in the mirror? That's the magic of a neckline that's not too deep, just enough to elongate the neck and brighten your features. And when the tie is pulled slightly off to the side, your waist looks defined without feeling squeezed. According to a style survey here in the US, nearly 3 out of 4 women in their 60s and 70s choose a wrap dress for social occasions because it makes them feel slimmer, more polished, and effortlessly elegant. When it comes to fabric, jersey or ponte is perfect for daytime, especially a faux wrap design that won't come undone. It's easy, practical, and keeps its shape. For evening, I always recommend matte satin or silk. They have just enough sheen to feel luxurious without being overwhelming. What you want to avoid is fabric that's too thin and clingy. It highlights every little detail and takes away from the graceful movement that makes the wrap dress so flattering. I'll give you an example from my own life. On a casual afternoon walk with my daughter, I wore a jersey wrap with a tiny micro print and paired it with nude pointed flats. It felt comfortable and feminine, and I could walk for an hour without fussing with my clothes. On the other hand, at an evening dinner party, I chose a deep emerald satin wrap dress, paired with delicate drop earrings and strappy sandals. When I walked into the room, people noticed my presence first, not just the dress. That's the quiet power a wrap dress gives you. Of course, there are common mistakes to avoid. A neckline that's cut too low or too loose will have you worrying every time you lean forward. Loud, oversized prints can overwhelm your frame instead of flattering it. And wide belts can bulk up the midsection, completely undoing the slimming effect of the wrap. That's why I always go through my quick 30-second checklist. Is the V neckline shallow enough to stay elegant? Is the tie pulled slightly to the side to soften the waistline? And when I sit down, does the overlap of the skirt stay closed so I don't have to think about it all evening? If the answer is yes to all three, then I know I'm good to go. One of my friends, Evelyn, who's 72, had a moment I'll never forget. She wore a berry-toned ponte faux wrap dress to a dance. As she stepped onto the floor, the skirt moved with her, flowing so naturally it looked like the dress itself was dancing. She laughed later and said, "I didn't feel like I was walking anymore, I felt like I was gliding." That's what a wrap dress can do. It doesn't just flatter your body, it awakens a sense of ease and grace that people can see from across the room. So let me ask you, when was the last time you wore a dress that made you feel light on your feet and completely confident in your skin? If it's been a while, maybe it's time to give the wrap dress a try. And once you've experienced that kind of quiet power, we can take it a step further with a style that's all about presence and drama, the structured maxi dress. A structured maxi dress is one of those pieces that gives you instant presence. The ankle grazing length, combined with vertical seams or an empire waist, creates height and polish without taking away the softness we all want in a dress. It's graceful, it's fluid, and it quietly makes a statement the second you walk into a room. Have you ever tried on a straight, shapeless maxi? If you have, you probably noticed how it seemed to swallow you whole. That's why structure is everything. Just a few seams, or a gentle cinch at the waist, can completely redefine your shape. In fact, a style survey from AARP found that more than 60% of women over 60 said they felt taller and more confident in a structured maxi compared to a loose, unshaped one. Color plays a huge role too. Shades like teal or muted emerald brighten the eyes and bring a vibrant glow to the skin. For necklines, a soft V or a crossover cut is always flattering, elongating the upper body. As for fabric, matte chiffon or silk is stunning for evening, light, elegant, and just dramatic enough. Linen or viscose is perfect for daytime, especially by the beach or on vacation. And for a more practical, everyday option, a heavier jersey with vertical seams keeps its shape while still giving you movement. I'll never forget a cruise I took last year. I wore a pale linen maxi with slim strap sandals and a wide-brimmed hat. In the photos, I looked comfortable and at ease, but also polished. Friends even said I looked 10 years younger. Later, at an afternoon event, I wore a dark crepe maxi with a slim belt and a pair of 2-inch block heels. Standing next to friends who were taller than me, I didn't feel overshadowed at all. That dress gave me the confidence to stand tall and take up space. Of course, I've learned from mistakes too. A maxi with no seams left me looking boxy. Heavy shoes weighed down the whole look. And a hemline that dragged on the floor? Not only impractical but a recipe for tripping. I've done it, and trust me, nothing pulls you out of your confidence faster than catching your heel on your dress. That's why I swear by my 30-second checklist. Does the dress have vertical seams or gentle shaping at the waist? Is the belt slim and flattering, not bulky? And when I walk, does the hem skim the ankle instead of sweeping the floor? If I can say yes to all three, I know the dress is a keeper. One of my friends wore a teal chiffon empire waist maxi to a wedding, and the photos were incredible. Even standing next to women half a foot taller, she looked radiant, balanced, and completely present. She told me later, for once, I didn't feel like I was fading into the background. I felt like I belonged in the spotlight. That's the power of a structured maxi. It frames you, it elevates you, and it reminds you that elegance isn't about hiding, it's about showing up. So let me ask you, when was the last time you wore a dress that made you feel taller, stronger, and more graceful in an instant? If it's been a while, maybe it's time to give the structured maxi another look. And once you've experienced that sense of presence, the next natural step is the sheath dress, the ultimate symbol of quiet sophistication and timeless polish. The sheath dress has always been the definition of quiet power. Its clean, straight lines give you that polished, streamlined look, while encouraging you to stand taller and carry yourself with more confidence. Every time I put one on, I feel sharper, more composed, and somehow just a little bit more respected. Have you ever looked at yourself in the mirror wearing a sheath with a shallow boat neck or a soft V-neck? Instantly, your face looks brighter, your neckline feels longer, and your whole presence becomes more refined. Color matters here too. Deep shades like burgundy, navy, or warm charcoal always project sophistication while still feeling vibrant. A U.S. fashion survey found that more than 65% of women over 60 feel more professional and confident wearing a sheath dress to important meetings or social events. Fabric makes all the difference. A double-layer ponte knit is perfect for daytime. It's comfortable, doesn't wrinkle easily, and keeps its shape for hours. For more formal occasions, crepe or a wool blend adds structure and elegance. The key is fit. The dress should skim your body, not cling to it. And don't be afraid to have the hem or waistline tailored. Those small adjustments can make it look like the dress was custom made just for you. I'll give you an example. At an important business meeting, I wore a navy crepe sheath with an ivory cropped blazer and a pair of 2-inch pumps. I felt composed, confident, and completely in control, even while standing at the front of the room giving a presentation. On more casual days, I reach for a ponte sheath, layered with a light knit cardigan and finished with pointed toe flats. It's effortless, comfortable, and still polished. Of course, I've had my share of mistakes. I once bought a sheath in fabric that was too thin, and it clung to every line of my body, highlighting things I didn't want highlighted. Another time, I chose a dress that was too tight at the waist, and sitting through dinner was a struggle. And a hemline that landed above my knees threw off my proportions completely. It made me look shorter instead of sleek. That's why I always run through my 30-second checklist. Can I see any visible lines from undergarments? Does the hem fall just below the knee, creating balance? Do elbow-length sleeves slim my arms without feeling restrictive? If I can say yes to those three, I know the dress is right. One of my favorite moments was when I took a navy ponte sheath to the tailor. We shortened the hem by 1 inch and broadened the waist slightly. When I tried it on again, I couldn't believe the transformation. It looked like it had been made specifically for me. At a dinner that week, I got so many compliments, and one friend whispered, "You look like you just stepped out of a designer fitting." So let me ask you, do you own a sheath dress that truly fits you the way it should? If not, maybe now is the time to invest in one. Because once you experience the confidence that comes from its quiet elegance, you'll understand why the sheath has been a timeless staple for decades, and why it's the perfect follow-up to the drama and presence of a structured maxi. The 5 dress styles we covered today are 5 different ways to unlock your energy. The A-line balances proportions, the shirt dress creates smart vertical lines, the wrap is soft yet powerful, the structured maxi commands presence, and the sheath dress delivers quiet power with timeless elegance. Remember the face fiber flow method. It's your quick 60-second filter in front of the mirror. Face is the color that brightens your features. Fiber is the fabric that feels right for the moment. Flow is the movement that makes the dress work with you, not against you. Here's my challenge for you. This week, pick just one of these dress styles to try. Use the 30-second checklist while you're in the fitting room, and notice how you feel when you step out. Then drop a comment below with the style you chose, along with a close-up photo of your face next to the fabric. I'll personally give you suggestions on the best colors and accessories to elevate it even more. Don't just keep this in your head, take action this week. Real transformation comes from actually putting these tips into practice. And what we covered today is only one piece of the bigger style journey. If you're serious about feeling more confident, more youthful, and more beautiful after 50, then the next video, stop wearing black. Try these 3 fashion trends after 60 to brighten your look, is something you absolutely cannot miss. In it, I'll share a pro-aging color map with 12 shades that instantly light up your face at 50, 60, and 70 plus, along with the dulling colors you'll want to avoid. Because age will never take away your beauty. It only asks you to dress in a way that speaks the language of your heart today.